Okay, good morning, everyone. Hi, happy Friday. Hi, Eric. Hi. I almost said Princess Mononoke, but it is backwards, so Princess Mononeko. Hi, Link Chow, Jenny's Wonderland, Jade. Look at all of your memberships. Thank you, Joe. You're a madman. Hi, Becca. Thanks for choosing stream over Gilmore Girls. Christine, hello. Hi, Ada. Hey, Chrissy. Hi, Tuv. Hello. Thanks for coming, everyone. Snow Sprite. Hi, Allie. Hi, Lilybug. Hi, everybody. Fabian, how you doing? Hi, Arwen's Rose. How's everybody's Friday? Mine's been a little hectic. I won't lie to you. I was late. But I made it. Barely, but I made it. Hi. Hi, Gems. Yeah, happy Friday. We made it, everyone. Isn't it funny? Like, I don't work a regular office job, so it's not like I work a 9 to 5, but still getting to Friday is like a big sense of relief for me. Honestly, probably because I just actually like streaming. Excuse. Also, fair warning for a noise. I don't know if it's going to be loud or not. I don't think the mic even picked that up. Can we talk about, okay, wait, I have a legitimate question, everyone. First of all, let me make sure my camera is good because I was adjusting it while I was not live, so I couldn't tell. That's better. Okay. For those of you that drink these like Synergy kombucha, right? They're like the GT ones or whatever. Maybe it's not a GT one, but it's like a Synergy thing. Didn't these bottles used to be bigger from the gas station? Or were they always this size? Because mira, like, I can't really, I'm not saying that. The other bottles are like normally larger, I feel. Yeah, because in comparison with the Hydro Flask, the other ones are normally like, not comparable, but yeah, censoring in real time. I thought so too. Oh, thank you, Allie. Okay, so this one is 10 fluid ounces. No way is that the same size. Surely that's smaller. They do make huge ones. Yeah, like at the grocery store. But even like the single serving, yeah, they're normally, okay, 16 ounces. Yes, Jade. Aaron and I are so obnoxious about shrinkflation. We're the worst because we will complain about it everywhere, forever, always. Hi, Ashley. Hold on, what happened about the countdown music? I'm so glad you guys like the music. Okay, 16. That's what I'm saying, Christine. Who sells 10 ounces of anything? I know, recession sizes, truly. 8 or 12 or 16, but 10? No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Joe, thank you for 20 more memberships. Joe said there will be no shrinkflation in this stream. Yeah, not even 12, 10. Welcome to all of the new McNugs, by the way, and those of you that are coming back. We have Christine, Elizabeth, Egan, Courtney, In Your Domain, Sammy Schumacher, Mallory, K Sakura, H, Mother Pancake, Melissa, Linda, Emma Dilemma, Brittany, Alicia, Wheel of Hands, Kelly Larson, Carrie Zim, Annalise Williams, The Yarn Goblin, Caitlin. I think that's it. Welcome back to all of our previous McNugs, and welcome to those of you that are new McNugs. Shout out to Joe for growing our little community. Oh, thank you. 10 ounces equals about 2.9 liters for those of you that don't use the imperial system because it's stupid. I was actually talking with one of my friends the other day. I don't know if they want me to talk about like this who they was, but but I think I could get used to metric pretty easily, except for like some very small things. Okay, waffles or pancakes? Pancakes most of the time, I would say. Ooh, I'm not on live chat. Thank you, Christine. The ADHD is on another level today. Excuse. Temperature, I think, is one of the only things that I would really struggle with. Like all of the ounces and the measurements and the weights and stuff, totally fine. I do think I would struggle with stone. I don't know if that's like a UK thing specifically, but that would confuse me. But the temperature is what would get me. Excuse. That's imperial, not metric. Really? Wait, so then how come the UK? Okay, because I just ordered stuff from Lucy and Yak. And I don't know anything about my UK size, obviously. So there's like a little tool. I looked at the size chart and, looked at that. But then I also looked at this little like tool that they have. They're on a bunch of websites now, but where it like measures you and it asks you to put your weight in, and it asked for my weight in stone first. And I was like, I don't know. So I switched over to kilograms and then measured that way. Okay, I'm going to do my best. Xiao Tiankong? Please correct me. I hate when I pronounce people's names wrong, so please read me for filth. But welcome to the Big Dogs. Thank you for joining. We're happy to have you. It's funny that you mentioned ADHD. I just started new meds today, and I'm so locked in. Mallory, I love that for you. I was asking... Oh, sorry. I just read Penguin's comment. Asking for weight in stone is wild. It is wild. I was talking to Erin about that because I was skipping a few days of taking my Vyvanse because my psychiatrist told me to. In case there's like a shortage. She was like, try not to take it on the weekends and stuff if you can avoid it. And I was like, okay, I'll try. But the days that I didn't take it, I feel like I get sucked into like staring at my phone and just being very like iPad baby. No, I don't think so, Penguin. I think she was just trying to like prep me in case there was, because I asked about it and she was like, no, not that I'm aware of, but I think she was just trying to be nice. But I was like, yeah, no, this is terrible. And I was a lump all day and I felt like I was a prisoner inside of my own mind. So I'll be taking my Vyvanse every day as prescribed. Thank you. I've had to hoard Adderall before. Me too, Fabian. I had to like go without. Okay, it's pronounced like Xiao, but you got Tiancon correctly. It just means like little dawn. This account I made when I was younger. It's a stupid name. No, totally fair. Okay, Xiao. Thank you for correcting me. Like I said, I hate when I pronounce your guys' names wrong, especially as a person who grew up with people calling me Mikey, calling me all kinds of things that were incorrect. So, please yell at me in the comments if I ever say your username wrong. God, I wish they'd give you extra for the times. I know. Yes, exactly. Me forgetting to take. Okay, yes. This is the funny thing, because somebody in Discord chat said mine is worried about addiction issues, and I thought the same thing. To be clear, it is a habit-forming substance, so this is not medical advice. Just simply a funny little anecdote about my own neuroses, because I had that day where I was like I was a lump, super not locked in, and was really frustrated. So I was like, I think I'm going to have to like actually take it every day. And my immediate thought, my immediate silly little brain was like, oh, you're probably forming an addiction. This is probably you forming a substance abuse disorder. You should get off of this medication. Like, don't take it. And I talked to Aaron about it, and he was like, you mean that you just want to take your medication as prescribed instead of skipping doses? And I was like, oh, yeah, I know you're right. I probably could just be nice to myself about it and not do the thing where I interrogate myself about things that I have no evidence for whatsoever. Because really, I'm just... Yeah, exactly, Eric. Needs medication, takes medication. Oh no, is it working? Yeah, this is probably bad. I should stop taking it. Yes, exactly, Fabian. Hi, Bee-Boo. Yeah, happy Friday. Thanks for coming, Jess. Let's see. Jade said, also, why do we have to pay for medication at all? Radical opinion, but honestly, what the fuck? Oh, agreed. No, that's not radical at all. We shouldn't have to pay for medication. Especially, I feel similarly about this to the way that I do about eyeglasses and like dental, like eye care, vision care and dental care, because it is legitimately a disability and a danger, especially for vision care, for myself and others to not have access to that. So why do I have to pay for it out of pocket? How come I'm like one of the lucky ones if I have vision or dental insurance? That doesn't make any sense. I feel like medication is very much the same, especially if you have like a medical disorder that you literally can't do anything about, right? How come I have to pay for that? That's not fair. It's not like I'm taking some really expensive supplement that I'm doing just for funsies. Like, I literally needed to live and to be a safe and, I don't know, effective person. Not to make it about me, but I'm in a new state and I'm so afraid to get evaluated for ADHD. Ooh, because I'm Black and afraid of being labeled as drug seeking. Oh, Sydney, that is such a valid fear. I don't want to like, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. But I also don't want to blow smoke up your ass and be like, no one will think that, because that's a legitimate concern. Hopefully one day we can get all the stuff we need. Yes. I know. I would love that. Oops. Okay. This is going to. Hello? My kombucha just started to like boil over. What on earth? It's all over the edge of the cup. I'm not trying to do anything other than just get by. Yes, literally. And all of the things that I'm being forced to do to just get by require me to have access to a medication that makes my brain not so doo-doo. Yeah, oh, definitely. Okay, medication stigma and internalized ableism can be so strong and worm your way into your brain in so many terrible and novel forms. Yeah. 100%. Okay, speaking of neurodivergence, my laptop just died because I didn't feel like plugging it in, despite the charger being right next to me. Art's at a truly shocking turn of events. Me, all the time, I have this struggle when I go to bed at night where I'm like, oh, I probably should go pee because I feel like I might have to pee, and I'll probably have to pee in the middle of the night if I don't go now. But I'm like, I don't wanna, while I'm standing up in the bathroom, like, doing my skincare or putting my bonnet on or whatever. Why is that? Why are our brains this way? How dare we, the peasants, want things? I know. What a bunch of ungrateful peons we are. Yeah, that's really what it is. How dare the peasants do anything besides work and pay rent? Boo. Desire decency. Eric, been a member for 21 months. That's crazy. Laugh like this is something funny for replay crew. Too late. I kind of spoiled it. Sorry, Eric. You should know by now that I'm Ron Burgundy. Okay, confirmed I have a 16-ounce GTs in the fridge. The 10-ounce ones haven't made their way here yet. I'm so offended because we just bought some from the grocery store that were 16 ounces, I'm pretty sure. But I was like, am I losing it? Am I wrong? Because I drank the last one, so I don't have the bottle anymore. But maybe it's like a gas station thing. I wonder if it's just that they sell the little ones at gas stations and they sell the normal ones at grocery stores. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, y'all. Very grateful to have this distraction. How far into the episode are we? Hi, sweetie. We are nowhere so far. In fact, we have not even started. So you're way on time. Early, even. We've only been vamping for 24 minutes. I felt like that with pain management. Sometimes I feel like when I go to the doctor with a legitimate pain, they dismiss it or refuse effective pain management because I'm Black. Jade, that's awful. I'm so sorry. The way that that's like a normal part of our, like, I don't know, country's cultural, like, norms sucks so bad. Fuck this country. Truly. Fuck this country's healthcare. 1,000%. Especially now. This is the first time I've been early to anything. Love that for you. Welcome. I'm eating strawberries and chocolate overnight oats. Ooh, that sounds so good. Doop, doop, doop. My membership baby is advanced for their age. I feel like we're going to need a refresher for the show. Yes. Okay, Penguin, I was watching a recap before we got started so that I could give you guys a little bit of a recap because I remember some bits, but I don't really remember a lot. So, we might also just take this as it comes, you know? Do you guys, I mean, surely some of you remember watching cable TV back in the day when episodes would just come on week to week and it was like, I don't know, just watch it and sort of figure it out as we go, you know? That's kind of the energy we're channeling today. Because we did watch episodes 1 through 4 before we started Love is Blind. And we're going to watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in May. So on May 15th, I think is when that premieres. So we're watching it on the 16th. But we have a few weeks to kill before then. And as we all discovered last week, or not last week, but the week before, that show was terribly traumatizing. So we're not watching that anymore. And I figured this would be nice because we know that it's not traumatizing, at least not like that. And we're, somewhat familiar with the format at least. Oh, okay. Cobblegen, that's awful. They need to bring back the weekly recap and effective last week on. Actually, I wonder if that is there a recap here? There might be. Maybe. We'll see. I remember a little. Yeah, I have bits and pieces. Hopefully we can kind of put our bits and pieces of memory all together and try to form like a little jigsaw puzzle. Ooh, what happened? Ashley said, hopping into the live right after I accepted a new job that allows me to leave my current toxic workplace. So no matter how wild the reality TV can get, nothing can get me down today. Ashley, that's so exciting. Congratulations. Big love to you. And your new job. That's such a good feeling. Wait, the ultimatum. Yeah. And that's what you miss ugly. Exactly. Second time in your stream. Hey, y'all. So excited. Hi. Thanks for coming. Forgot about the last one and was so bummed. No worries. Last week we didn't stream anyways, so you've not really missed a whole lot, at least. The only way I understand what the heck my parents are talking about on Survivor is by exclusively paying attention to the recaps and the exit interviews. That's so valid, honestly. You're going to love the paint man. Okay, yes, I do remember that because so let's just start piecing some stuff together. This season of The Ultimatum, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I got a kombucha for stream because it makes me burp. So sorry in advance. But this season, it's a mix of, I don't know, seemingly normal-ish couples, right? There is one man who is super spooky and was giving us like maybe there is some abusive tendencies or behaviors that could turn into abuse type of stuff. There was another man, the paint man, who has some really obsessive behaviors that were very concerning. So his partner partnered with another man for the ultimatum switch up thing that, I don't know, he seemed mostly like he was interested in having sex with her or sort of viewing her as an object, but I don't know, relatively unproblematic, I suppose. But that woman's initial partner is Paint Man, and he was looking through the windows and like obsessively sending text messages and calling. Here, let's see if we can scroll through and find some screenshots of these people. Okay. So this man, no, not these people. This woman here, I'll turn this off so you guys can see. This woman here, I do not remember her name. However, she is the woman who was initially partnered to Paint Man, who was sending her obsessive text messages and phone calls and really concerning behavior. Hold on. This man. Let me see if I can get it to show us his little face. Show us your face. Okay, this man. This is Paint Man. This man, Paint Man for Bingo Square. This man was the one who was sending obsessive text messages and phone calls, looking through the windows, behaving in ways that were like really, first of all, a boundary violation, but also, again, very concerning regarding his own well-being and also the well-being of others. Notably, he is like ruining this hotel room that the show ostensibly put him in by spray painting indoors, which is really bad for you, by the way. Don't do that. And sort of taking out his frustrations on his art. It was almost like the it was like a sequence from a Lifetime movie where like troubled artist works out their emotions by painting aggressively. It was really, that was really a weird vibe. Okay. This man is the one who was giving everybody some weird vibes. Honestly, Allie, you might not have been. I know we're visual artists, only paint men. This man is the one who was behaving in ways that were really concerning. There was some very controlling behavior and some red flags that could potentially point to a capacity for abusive behaviors. And he was initially partnered with this other woman who I cannot find. Nope, not those people. Hold on, we're going to put this over just in case, because Netflix is really on one these days. Okay, Scotty, that's his name. Scotty and Zaina. Does anyone remember the last time we watched this? It was right before Love is Blind. So, okay, this is Zaina. Zaina is the one who is partnered with Scotty, who is this kind of scary behavior man. And Scotty was initially partnered with another woman who is now with, I don't remember actually. I don't remember anything ever. That's fair. I had a conflict with people and then realized that I had a lot of growth to do and wouldn't be able to resolve it the way I did if it wasn't for your channel and advice. Thank you, Mickey. Oh my God. Fairy Librarian, that's so nice. I'm so glad that it helped, honestly. Hi, Hellfire. No, we didn't start yet. We're doing a brief review. Okay, so this is Zaina. I don't remember who Zaina was partnered with initially, but she's currently partnered with Scotty and like really eating up whatever bullshit he's selling. These two people, this woman was initially partnered with Scotty. What I'm seeing here is that maybe none of us watched it, only Mickey did. No, I literally have the stream replays to prove it. Go look on the channel. I'm telling you, we watched it. I hate how much these reality shows are ingrained in my brain. That's valid. Mickey had a mod-free stream, apparently. No, that's not true. Hold on, what happened? There was an alternate universe, Mickey. No, there was not. We like hanging out with you too. Yeah, Gems. Of course we like hanging out with you. I remember the title of the show. That's literally all I remember. Okay, so listen. I think we might just... Oh, Arya. This woman is named Arya. God, one of our mods is named Arya. And so I was like, what about Arya? We are not in a Black Mirror episode. Don't stress me out. Okay, we might just start from the beginning of the episode, see where that takes us. Do we have any issues with that? I'm also going to put it on 1.25 speed with the overlay on, Mickey. Hello. Because everyone in the show talks really slowly, if I remember correctly. I got a new job not in childcare. I'll be sick less. Yay! I won't lie to you. The idea of being a childcare worker stresses me deeply. Not just because of how germy the whole thing is, but that's a big part of it, though, to be fair. No gaslighting in the chat. I remember very little. Yeah, I think we should just kind of send it. Does anyone have issues with that? Because I think that might just be our best bet. As things come up too, we can like pause and try to, reconstruct the past. Okay, so we're at 0 minutes and 0 seconds. We are at 1.25 speed. So if you're watching this on your own device at home, make sure that you have it at that speed. We've got subtitles on. We're on episode 5 of season 3 of the Ultimatum. The straight one. We're pressing play in 3. No, we're not. Hold on. My headphones are off. Let me make sure that that's unmuted. Okay. There we go. We're pressing play in 3, 2, 1. Don't ruin it, Netflix, with music, though. Yep, they're going to ruin it with music. Okay, we've got some downtown Phoenix B-roll, some Scottsdale B-roll, Trial marriages, week 2.
You're really out.
Nope.
And I just love how extra you are.
You don't know what I'm doing.
You're right, I don't.
You have no idea what's happening behind.
She's plating DoorDash.
It's like ASMR right now.
I know.
Okay.
Wow.
I woke up early and made us breakfast from scratch.
In 3 minutes.
You deserve it.
No music, thank you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, Mariah, I remember almost nothing about. If anybody remembers anything about Mariah.
Something like this,
Oh, wow.
like this,
I used to live there.
I don't promote those types of activities.
No, with the music Netflix. Get it together.
Weeks for sure. I can't imagine how this could get much worse unless, I don't know, I get hit by lightning or something. Nah, I'm too dark and moody. It's too happy.
Why are you taking the... This is the kind of person in retail that you're like, okay, thanks. Okay, Sandy and JR. They're playing football at the park.
Social media.
There we go.
And a marriage.
Oh, that's a good question. If you're my husband, you're posting me. And I'm posting you.
Gems.
Like,
Not Gems, sorry.
Like the female could post,
Joe.
but the male shouldn't be obligated to.
Thank you for
that's
10
like the
more
dumbest thing you've ever
memberships.
said. Like, actually, why? Explain that right now. What?
I know people, they don't want to put like that out there because they don't want people contacting their wife. So I get that.
Is it because you found out your ex-wife was
That's not
cheating
you,
because you
sorry.
went through her phone?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to share phone passwords. Like I don't want to know what's in your phone because I don't want to see what you're doing behind closed doors.
Are you scared that you're gonna?
Sorry. Does that seem backward to anybody else? No, we're not doing bingo, Maddie. Honestly, at this point, bingo is kind of like a Love is Blind only thing. So we're all orange cats. A little. Okay, we're rewinding by 20 seconds because I'm very confused by that. 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
They don't want to put like that out there because they don't want people contacting their wife. So I get that.
Is it because you found out your ex-wife was cheating because?
Okay, hold on. 10 more seconds because apparently the context is at the very beginning of this sentence. Yeah, that was kind of my confusion, King Sydney. Okay, 1 minute and 43 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Marriage.
Oh, that's a good question. If you're my husband,
The role of social
You're
media in
posting
your
me.
marriage.
and I'm posting you. Like,
Okay.
Like the female could post, but the male shouldn't be obligated to.
that's like the dumbest thing you've ever said. Like, actually, why? Explain that right now. What?
I know people, they don't want to put like that out there because they don't want people contacting their wife. So I get that.
Is it because you found out your ex-wife was cheating because you went through her phone?
Yeah, that's why I don't want to share phone passwords. Like I don't want to know what's in your phone because I don't want to see what you're doing behind closed doors.
Are you scared that you're gonna see something like?
Ay, ay, ay. Couple of things. I know female and male at this point culturally is really a red flag, yellow flag maybe for potential misogyny or misogynistic views. The idea that, I think my wife should post pictures of me and of us, but I shouldn't be obligated to post pictures of my wife because I don't want men contacting my wife is so confusing. Because if someone's going to contact your wife, first of all, that's weird. But second of all, that would be happening if she's posting on social media anyways. So that doesn't make any sense. But also, I don't want to share phone passwords. I don't want to know what's going on in your phone because I found out that my ex-wife was cheating on me by doing that. Seems more like avoidance than it does. This is, I think, a good example of what avoidance looks like as opposed to changed behavior as a result of learning something, right? This is very much an anxiety thing. This is wanting to avoid feelings of discomfort. There's no actual practical benefit for this for your mental health, really. Yes, exactly. So he violates her privacy and doesn't want to do that with his current relationship because he doesn't want to know if she's cheating. That's fair. It is kind of a full red flag. I think I just want to hold space for people potentially using that word and like not knowing that it's a red flag, right? Not everyone who does that is necessarily doing it because they're a misogynist. So this reminds me of someone I know. who didn't want to move in with their current partner before marriage. Oh, no. Yeah. In case it didn't work out. This is very much that, right? Like a bad thing happened in my relationship prior. And so instead of working through some trust issues, having some conscientious conversations about my fear or my attachment issues or whatever, I'm going to avoid the situation altogether in hopes of that never happening again. Or mostly just in hopes of having to witness that ever happening again. That's not very adaptive. Mickey's nicer than me. According to a lot of the internet, though, Jade, I'm not, apparently. It could be a dog whistle or just awkward phrasing, impossible to tell. Yeah, that's true, Raspberry. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, it is very much head in the sand. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. 2:28-ish. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
That you don't want to see, or
Yeah, like my ex is beautiful, so I'm sure people will reach out to her in her DMs, which I like. Okay, but I don't want to see it because I know it's
Right.
going to trigger me.
right? It's hard to handle that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't hold on to things. You need to be able to let go of the past.
Yeah, I think just going through this trial marriage with you, it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. That's what you really need in a partner, someone that's going to really listen to you and give you real, authentic feedback. That's what I appreciate about you. Has this process, like, made you think deeper about marriage?
This is why these shows drive me banana pancakes, because that was the most nothing burger sentence. We didn't even really say anything. I know less than 30 minutes of vamping is a new record, truly. I think this is a great opportunity to give the reminder that we give all the time on this channel, which is that avoiding your triggers is not a realistic means of healing. That's actually going to keep them longer, right? If we want to heal and move past something that's a trigger, we need to be willing to confront it. And that's not to say that you should be, all the time without warning, bombarded by everything that potentially triggers you. That's not what that means. And locking yourself in a little bubble, a little sensory deprivation tank to avoid any and all things that potentially trigger you will actually make your mental illness worse. Oh yeah. It's only going to heighten the anxiety and the fear of it, actually, because it will create a hypervigilance about potentially running into a trigger, actually. So now we have the thing where we're anxious about being anxious. It's a real problem. Oh no. That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's essentially like exposure therapy. Sounds like he doesn't trust his own friends on social media, or he doesn't want to advertise that he's married. I think that is probably more of what it is. I don't know that I think maybe there is definitely a part of what he said being true, but I think there is also a level of, I want to appear single so I can potentially have attention. But I don't want you to appear single because I don't want you to get attention from people that either want to date you or have sex with you or just find you attractive. I am almost wondering if he's covering his own butt with not sharing social media. Perhaps he's just super paranoid. That's true. Potentially there are some unsavory things happening in his own DMs as well. For what it's worth, also, I think people in relationships have the right to decide their own norms, right? Whatever two people openly and enthusiastically and, without being under, like an undue pressure, consent to, that's their business. And the expectation that there should be across the board an unequal level of control and power is really a red flag. I don't think it's enough to say on its own that like your partner is manipulating you or could be abusive, but those things added up with a bunch of other things. Now we're in some really troubling territory. Okay, let's keep going. 3 minutes and 7 seconds-ish. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
For sure. Like, I don't think that it has to be so scary. I have actually been trying to lead with my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been like, oh, it's so hard for me to be vulnerable. But through this, I'm like, I can be super vulnerable. I don't care. It's actually like not even like weird or hard for me.
Right. I think we make it easier for each other.
Yeah. It's wild. I do want to be married. I do want kids. I want a family. I want that like soonish. I feel like now that we're here and like we're talking about it so much, I am excited to like start that chapter of my life. That's a really exciting period.
Wow, I feel like that's the first time I've heard you like outright say that. Shows that you're like evolving as a person. That's deep. I get excited at that though too.
No, they have known each other for 15 minutes. This is so annoying. This is what forced intimacy and fabricated vulnerability does to people. We've talked about this with Love is Blind. They're locked in a sensory deprivation tank and constantly being bombarded with this like propaganda almost about marriage and relationships and babies and love and sex and attraction and like all of these things. So they're constantly thinking about it. So they're able to more easily kind of push themselves into believing, oh, this is a thing that I want. Oh, this is a thing that sounds nice, right? The other thing about this is very much, Kira, the NRE. Yes, this is the new relationship energy. It's the honeymoon period. It's the excitement of like shiny object syndrome, right? We don't know anything negative about this person because we don't know anything about their flaws or their problematic behaviors. We haven't gotten in a big old dramatic fight yet. We haven't had to deal with their problematic relationships or their shitty friends or their weird relationships with their family. We haven't had to watch them go through hard times or see them in vulnerable moments where we don't like how they handle things. So of course we like them more than our other partner. That's the thing about being in a committed relationship, is choosing to continue to discover who your partner is and having a level of love and attraction and fun and maturity and safety and security that allows you to say, I love you regardless of where you're at and how you are and, you know, what service you're bringing to the table. Not that I love you because you're all of these things that I've projected onto you, right? That's the other aspect of this, is projecting this fantasy of perfect partner onto this person that we don't know, because it's easy to do that because we don't know them. Yes, exactly. The fantasy partner versus the human reality. I just realized what show this is. Thanks for that. I use my brain cell. Yeah, no worries. Also feels like I want to be in this chapter, but I don't care who I do it with, which is asinine. 100% raspberry. There's also that. The very heteronormative, cisgender sort of, culturally like shoved down our throats expectation about love, marriage, baby carriage, right? There are milestones that you're supposed to meet. You're supposed to do those by a certain time. And if you're not doing it, there must be something wrong with you, right? Except that that's not true. But people experience a lot of pressure to want those things. So we can kind of convince ourselves that we do when we're in these situations. Okay, let's keep going. 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1. Oops. Okay, meeting friends.
Wait, this is my trial husband. Sorry.
Trial husband is
my
a
sister,
wild phrase.
Obviously.
So, okay, can you give us like some context?
Yeah, we know like nothing.
Okay, I want to hear from the beginning. So, yeah, we each came in here with our partner and we had to break up immediately. And then we just had to dive into the dating scene. We're both on the same side of the ultimatum. So he issued an ultimatum. I did, obviously. We have the same vision of how we want like marriage to look like.
Why did I just get chills? Wait, look, they're chills. Wait, they're actually chills.
They are.
So what drew you to Zaina?
I mean,
What about
we were
that
at the
is
pool, and
chills-worthy?
then it was a hot day. And then I had my date with Zaina, and then it became a hotter day, obviously. First, I think she was very open and honest. Everything that she shared about who she is, why she wants what she wants, why she's ready to be a wife has all been consistent with our trial marriage experience.
How long were you in your relationship before this?
3 years.
Okay.
Are there things that you see in Zaina that are lacking in that relationship?
You're getting into the deep questions quick. So I think one of the main differences in Arya's case, like she's had a lot of difficult and challenging relationships with men. And so I think like a large part of our relationship has been me almost like trying to prove her wrong. I feel like with Zaina, she has a different level of life experience and the emotional maturity that comes with that life experience.
This is such a mean thing to say. I just want to put that out there. This is mean to Arya, this man's past partner, and mean to Zaina, his current partner. First of all, him saying Arya's had a lot of challenging or, negative experiences with men, and so our relationship has been me trying to prove her wrong. really what you're saying is that she's not ready to be a wife because she's traumatized. She's got baggage, and so I don't like that. And I'm trying to be the good guy, but she won't accept that. This is the thing. When people say things like this, really what you're saying is that I have put coins in this piggy bank of our relationship, right? I've been a good partner. I'm a nice guy. I, am not abusive, question mark. And so that equals at some point a vending machine payout of what I want, right? I did the right thing, so she owes me the thing that I want, which makes you a bad partner, actually. That makes you a really fucking mean person, because we should want to make our partners feel safe, to make them feel secure, to be a haven for them, right? In addition to being fun and being kind and for loving them for who they are, right? Uplifting them, empowering them, making them feel strong, making them feel fun and excited and happy, because we just love them, because we like them and we want that for them. These are all things that are, first of all, the bare minimum, but second of all, things that we should be offering up freely. If anybody in your relationship ever tells you, well, what about when I XYZ, they're viewing that as transactional. And listen, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that there shouldn't be some level of reciprocity in a relationship, right? Because when one person is continually giving and the other person is just continually taking, we run into a problem, right? You shouldn't be a giving tree in your relationship. And we shouldn't be trying to be the nice guy because we're going to eventually point a finger at our partner for not giving us what we want. That sucks. This is like very obviously a transactional and manipulative way to view a relationship. The other thing about this, though, is that he is essentially saying Zaina is the right partner because she wants to get married. Because I don't have to convince her that men are safe, because I don't have to deal with her trauma and her baggage. So that's why I want to marry her. What? That doesn't have anything to do with her as a person. This happens on these shows all the time. This is why we talk about the rampant projection that happens, because I don't think it really is anything about her. It's that he's projecting his ideal fantasy partner onto her without really knowing her, which mostly just amounts to like wants to be a wife, my wife. Yeah, she's also hot, of course. Yeah, those are the two characteristics. Hot and wants to be a wife. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. How dare you not give me what I want? I was nice to you. Which actually makes you a really fucking mean and scary person. Okay, let's keep going. 6 minutes even. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
And we chose each other because we wanted to challenge each other. He's like pointing out things about me that I didn't even recognize.
He's negging you.
I'm able to tap more into my emotions and not see it as something I need to conceal or hide. To be vulnerable is not a weakness. I've learned a lot, y'all.
You're kind of speaking
It's been
of
like
Zaina,
2
like,
days.
you're liking what she's bringing to the table, so is that now changing your mind on whether you're ready to get married to Arya? If you had to answer tomorrow, what would you say?
To be honest, I don't know.
That's a terrible question to
And I think
ask.
part of the not knowing is that because like I'm able to recognize that Zaina is an incredible woman. I would never have chosen her if I didn't think that there was something beyond the trial marriage that could potentially unfold.
No. I genuinely dislike this man.
And talk about our past, talk about our present, talk about our future. What I want out of marriage has evolved.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
JR. So obviously, like, I'd be sad if they don't end up together.
Oh, she was partnered with JR.
If he was to propose
Okay.
tomorrow, like, we would essentially want that, but do you feel like it's changed, or?
If ask me tomorrow, the answer would be no. I might leave her single. Whew. I might leave here with another person.
I think she should leave here single.
I feel like energy there that like I was surprised to see, just given that it's been such a short amount of time.
When Zaina's with JR, she's like very happy-go-lucky, and she's like that with Scotty too, but I think that she's a little bit more open to just like talking about her feelings. I don't know what will happen. I don't know who either of them will walk away with.
I hate when we do this where it's like, oh my gosh, they're a completely changed person. No, they're not. No, they're not. Let's also just be very real about that. Hold on, pause. When shows like this present what has it been, 2 weeks? A 2-week period of time as a life-changing event that has completely overhauled a person's life, please know that that's a lie, right? That's not how physical, emotional, psychological change works, especially not for the long haul. A lot of this has to do more so with temporarily being all keyed up by this environment and finding it easy to do these things that we've always wanted to do easy, because we're in this environment where you don't have work, you don't have family, you don't have friends, you don't really have any other thing to focus on except for this, right? And again, you're being heavily primed to do these things. And there's also a really high level of motivation to not just do all of these things because you want to do them, but also because you want to win, right? There is a level of competition in this show as well that feels like, well, I want to be the best, right? I want to get the good edit. I want to stick it to my partner who didn't propose to me. I want to, X, Y, or Z. So 3 years from now, these people, if they have a deep-seated issue around vulnerability or trust or, relationships, attachment, they're likely going to have to continue to do work on that and consistently address the deeper level, like the underlying traumas that contribute to that issue. This is not a realistic expectation that you can completely exorcise the demons of your past trauma in 2 weeks' time. That's just not how it works. Like, I'm so sorry, it's just not. I'm a delicate flower. I order my shoes online. Okay, I do genuinely love Vessi shoes, though. They're actually really comfy. Aaron still wears his all the time. I could not finish the show on my own. I started watching it out of curiosity as an Ace person when the first season came out and immediately realized this isn't going to give me any insight about real life people at all. 100%. That's what we should take away from this. This is not at all representative of real life. Like at all. Okay, let's keep going. This is Arya and someone else. Okay, 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Love fires. And I was like, what goes better with a fire?
In Arizona.
Than beautiful company and
Arya and
s'mores.
Caleb.
Have you ever played Chubby Bunny?
That's a game?
Yeah, you want to do it?
Oh,
How do you do
no,
that?
not this.
So you put one in your mouth and then you say Chubby Bunny and then you put it and you keep on doing it until whoever has the most in their mouth.
Okay, we're doing this?
Yes. Okay. Cheers.
You could not pay me enough money to play this game. Yeah, just choke on marshmallows.
Uh-huh.
This is a choking hazard for real.
Chubby Bunny. This is such a crackhead game. Okay, you win. Yeah, that can hold a lot of marshmallows. I feel like we didn't get as much time together today.
Oh, yeah, we
No.
didn't. You missed me?
I did. You've done everything you could to just make me feel comfortable.
I know,
If this
Christine,
is
I
the
thought
extent
that
you're willing
too.
to go to, I can only imagine what that'd be like
No,
if-
hellfire, oops.
you were married.
Honestly, it's still
When I
true,
care about
though.
someone, I just care a lot.
Yeah, that's just how the heart swings, huh?
Yeah, just all in or nothing.
Something that impressed me about you was you'll like think about me when you're like making food and you're like, hey, like if you're gonna be home, do you want this? Or, like I was impressed by the way that you do think about me when I'm not there.
But it's mutual.
I don't know. Are you an affectionate person?
That is the bare minimum. Somebody remembering that you exist when you're not there should be the bare minimum in a partnership. That, even a friendship, familial relationship. Like, hi, Austie, longtime subscriber here, just saying hi. Well, hi, thanks for coming to stream. Happy to have you. We're watching a literal dumpster fire. The only thing I miss about camping, roasting marshmallows. That's valid. Roasting marshmallows is really fun. It's just really hot here. I don't think that's really on the list for me anytime soon. Christine. Okay, 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
I I think so. And like if I'm standing behind you and say we're just waiting in the grocery store line, I might just put my hand on your back and like lightly rub your shoulders, or just noticing when your hair's in your face and like moving it out of the way.
Pumpkin, thanks for the 5 memberships.
What about you?
I feel like I could be better at it, honestly.
It's just allowing yourself to be a little more vulnerable.
Why am I so nervous? I'm like,
Shark.
like how are you
Are you
gonna
good?
hold it? Yeah.
You're good at it. There you go. All right, serious. This is serious stuff. My heart's on the line.
No, thank you. We don't need the music. Ashley, socks. Oh, socks, you got one. X marks the spot. Gabby and Cal. Welcome to the McNugs.
But I feel like with Caleb, he's so open with me that I don't have any type of distrust towards him.
Isn't that so interesting?
I don't think off the bat I was like super attracted to him. The physical attraction came after. We've just established a really awesome, unique, emotional connection, and I couldn't be happier.
I think that's probably still based on a lot of projection and situational influencing. However, I do think it's worth noting that she doesn't have some kind of, oh God, what is going on here? Pause. She doesn't have any kind of marked distrust for this man simply because he doesn't seem to be pressuring her or being closed off with her, right? He's just being open, and it seems like pretty fucking normal, like some pretty fucking bottom of the barrel, like no offense to this man, but it's not like he's out here being the world's beacon of truth for what good relationships are. He's just being like a nice person, and that helped her to feel safe with him. Again, I do think so much of this is based in fantasy and projection and a heavy level of being influenced by their environment and the producers. And I do think it's worth noting that the other partner, not JR, Scotty, hi bye, thanks for the $2. Bought cake for a meeting on my BizCC, pure joy. I don't know, BizCC. Business credit card. Love that. Hi bye. Thank you for the $2. Also, hi. It's nice to see you. Scotty has told her that she's the problem, but her closed offness is 1,000% related to him, as made obvious by how easy it is for her to be sweet with Caleb. That really seems like the case. The other thing about this that's interesting is that when someone tells us, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the only reason that our relationship is bad, it's going to make a person feel a certain way. That doesn't really lend itself to open disclosure and trust and safety, right? It's not inherently wrong to say, hey, your behavior is a problem, right? Or your behavior is hurting my feelings, or, I have issues in our relationship because you did X, Y, or Z. But to continually, without fail, never ending, say the only person who ever has faults in our relationship is you, is first of all abusive. But second of all, doesn't make somebody feel safe or feel like they want to open up at all. Scotty was upset with her for not trusting him. Yes, exactly. He was giving her less than the bare minimum. Okay. 12 minutes and 3 seconds. Pressing play. In 3, 2, 1. It is still muted, to be clear. Okay, Mariah is the one who was by herself, somebody said, because her trial marriage partner left.
Oh my God. This is a setup.
Oh, this is just Scotty and Zaina now playing darts.
Bruh, you need to let me know that you're good at everything.
I'm not good at darts.
Okay, Sandy and JR.
Your muscles.
Not flexing.
No, oh my God.
Not flexing, I swear.
That's truly so cringe. The way that I would literally run away.
If you want me to look at your butt, just ask.
No, I would never.
Okay, a little picnic for Aria and Caleb. And now Sandy and JR are seeing Sandy's friends, I think.
Oh my God.
Oh, Sandy's mom.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Lori,
Nice to meet you as well.
Oh, I like the earring.
You got the whole head on.
Put the blonde in it. Like on.
So what do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own fitness business,
Nice.
personal training, online coach.
Check out these. My mom's not even checking you out.
Yeah, I felt that when I, got a little grab in there.
So JR loves to do things with his shirt off.
Oh, sure. Feel free.
Feel free.
This is so inappropriate. people are going to find their own comfort zone with boundaries and relationships with their parents. Generally speaking, your mother talking about how sexually attractive your partner is a red flag, though. That is super uncomfortable for everyone. Ugh. It's just, yes, he is a black man, which also feels a certain type of way because all of these women at the table are white women. There are multiple layers of weird going on here for Sandy and Sandy's family and friends. Please just don't be that way. We can't control what our inside thoughts are, I guess, right? But we don't have to say them out loud. It's giving fetishization and racism. If I ever say the word fetishization correctly the first time without having to slow down, demanding an award. Okay, let's keep going. 13 minutes and 24 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
You guys are vibing, huh?
Oh, we're vibing.
Tell us about your vibing.
Literally my first date. I mean, I think it was like love at first sight when I seen her. She had so much swag and she was so confident. I've never met someone I'm so connected to in such a quick time. We're so different, but we're also so similar in so many ways. Like, we're both the same zodiac sign.
Oh yeah, we're big Scorpio.
I've never talked to another Scorpio before. First thing she said was like, "What's mine is yours. Like, it's ours, it's not mine."
It's true.
Whatever food I get, we can share it.
We're living together. It's like
I'm like, wow, that's eye-opening. Yeah, we're sharing a bathroom, sharing a kitchen, sharing a bedroom. Like, I think we're both taking it very serious. So it does feel like we're married. I call her my wifey. Like, I'm calling her baby.
Wifey. You like come together, debrief the day.
We'll talk for hours just about our days and our thoughts, and we get really deep.
we think the same, you know? I think that's really important for me in a partner and in a marriage.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him. Do you mind? No, I gotta get the real scoop.
Look at his cute rose tattoos.
No. Why are we... This is why there are a couple of prominent creators, mostly on TikTok that I'm aware of, who are Black women that talk about how... Do you guys remember the man versus the bear discourse, right? If you run into, or would you rather run into a bear or a man in the woods while you're alone? And a lot of women were like, bear. I choose the bear. Or people rather, myself included. And there are a couple of prominent creators on TikTok and other places that are Black women who talk about how white women are the white men in that scenario for them. And I think this is like a good example of that, right? The way they're grabbing at him like he's an object. I don't even really like JR like that, but I think this is just a good example of how when people say, oh, I'm not racist, right? I love Black people, or I have a Black partner, or I have Black friends. Yeah, they're going to start squeezing his limbs, I'm sure. That this is not, like, that's not a good metric for whether you have internalized bias or isms, because the way that we're treating this man is very dehumanizing. And I would venture a guess that that has a lot to do with his skin color and with their expectations or their preconceived notions about what that means. Maggie, oh no. I wouldn't be surprised if her mom has never acted so inappropriately attracted to a white person or a white partner of hers. 100%. Yeah. I would not be surprised by that whatsoever. Oy. Okay, let's keep going. 14 minutes and 41 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
We love roses in our family.
What is that?
It's Latin for fortune favors the bold.
It's cute, and he has the
Sacred
serenity
Heart,
prayer
'cause I'm
on him, and
religious.
that's my favorite prayer.
I like your religion. What religion are you?
My dad was a pastor. Yeah, so girl,
Pastor
PK.
kid,
Yeah,
PK.
yeah.
I know that term.
She knows what PK is.
I know what PK is.
It's been nice through this whole experience. Like, I mean, in my relationships, it's like this, emotional, like, and again, I've never been with somebody like JR where it's just like, He's really strong, like mentally, and like he's very grounded and stable, and it's just really
It's nice.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see somebody that's actually willing to pull some weight.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
She spends so much of her energy naturally helping other people, but it's like in a partner, you can't give
Keep
like,
giving, yeah. Like,
I watch her give for like
eventually
3 years, and I'm like,
there's gonna be no
okay.
gas left in your tank. You gotta receive at some point. She's such a strong person. And that's what I appreciate about her.
I know, but he's a sweetheart. That's
I'm
what I
only
really.
a sweetheart to people that I care about.
I know, but you're so open.
That's not inherently a bad thing, to be clear. The way that he was grabbing her leg makes me very uncomfortable, though. If Aaron was out here rubbing my thigh at the dinner table while we were hanging out with my parents, I would simply die inside. Yeah, okay, so this is the other thing. He's like finally a partner who is helping and giving so that she doesn't have to give all of the time. She's known him for 2 weeks, though. They've not really had to encounter any difficult parts of life yet. So it just, again, is like the power of suggestion. This is why we talk all the time on the channel about how anybody who thinks or says that they are immune to propaganda and influence and being primed to think or believe certain things is wrong. Our brains are relatively manipulatable, easily manipulated. And we need to be aware of that. Being healthily skeptical of our own brains, not in a hypervigilant way, is a safety promoting behavior, though. He's helped me through some really hard times, like when I couldn't decide what to order at the cafe. A little bit. That's kind of the energy here. Allie, honestly, me too. Malleable. Thank you. Yeah, malleable is a great word for that. Okay. 15 minutes and 56 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
With me, and like I see who you are, and obviously you have like your shell on the surface, and you gotta like protect, and you can go really deep, like, and I need that.
How does it feel when you let it out?
It feels weird. Like, I met her 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, this is the
Deep
most
diving her
this is the most vulnerable I've been, but it also feels good because I know she actually cares about me on a deeper level.
I mean, are you actually serious about maybe walking away together, like, as a couple?
All this shit is very real. Like, it's very, very real.
Very real.
JR and I have developed obviously such a close like connection, and I just feel like we have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard. I have to make a decision.
Right.
Wow. What a profound statement. She said, is the grass really greener? I don't like this show. I'm sorry. Okay, Nick's apartment. This ought to be good. What is this found footage ass? I also hate the apartment cameras.
That JR had met Fanny's mom, and that rocked me. I came into this experience very sure of myself. I'm just...
This man needs serious help. Like, besides the fact that he has behaviors that are really concerning, I also am so confused about why the producers are watching this man spiral and being like, I mean, I'm not confused about why they're doing that. It's because they do that all the time. There are a lot of allegations about some really fucked up things that have happened on Kinetic Content's sets. But this is just so disappointing. Not surprised, but still disappointed. Shit gets unhinged. Okay, let's keep watching. 1734, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Experiencing what it's like to sit in your own stuff.
Yes.
Oh my God.
These people need therapy so bad.
And right now it's a lot of chaos.
Like what?
Hello? Sandy, I love you when I'm very scared. Sandy? Hello? Hello?
I love Nick so much, and I respect him and our relationship. And clearly, Nick was very hurt tonight, which I feel bad about that. Like, I feel guilty.
Why are you mad?
But at the same time, we knew what we're signing up for. He brought me here. So I'm gonna just lean into my trial marriage with JR and really get some answers on what I want for myself. That's part of the process. And then we'll come back together and do it again with each other.
Okay, couple of things. First of all, if she set a clear boundary with him that she doesn't want to receive phone calls from him or whatever, him continuing to call her like this is really starting to push the line of being abusive or manipulative, right? It sort of reeks of harassment or stalking. And I am weirded out, by the way, that this woman seems fine to just callously hang up on her partner. I think this is like an everybody sucks here situation. He does just keep getting worse. But the thing about this that is confusing to me, that's fair. To be fair, I don't remember a lot of what the other episodes were like. But the thing that's confusing to me is like the utter lack of concern on everybody's behalf about how we're affecting one another. He has absolutely no interest or care or concern for the way that he's negatively affecting her, for the way that he's probably making her incredibly uncomfortable. But she also seems very callous about him potentially having like a well and true like mental health crisis. I think she just knows the routine and staying on the phone is fruitless. Fair. I think he's just worn her down and she's numb to it. That's valid. No, you're right. It's likely that. I do remember that there being like obsessive tendencies in the last couple of episodes, obviously, but I don't remember what she has said about whether that was happening before they came here. Does anybody remember if she talked about that in their life before the ultimatum? Like, is this a new behavior or does he do this a lot? I'm an hour late because I was tie-dyeing with my kid last day of spring break. Last inch of patience that I have. Oh, little E, that's really sweet though. I hope that you guys had fun. Yeah, I have a vague memory. It seems like this is a pattern for him. I'm really curious about that. I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just keep going. Okay, 1843. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Why are you punishing me? I've done literally nothing wrong.
Because you're blowing me up and disrespectful.
If you're over me, there's no reason for me to stay.
I have to sit with the feeling of being threatened in this whole experience because JR is the biggest threat to me. On the flip side, she has no threats because there's nobody here. It's frustrating, it's threatening, it's weird. I'm over it. Just a lot of fucking feelings.
Oh my God, I'm done. Ah!
What is wrong with this man? Oh no. No, 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 no.
Okay, we're not doing this. You need to leave. You need to leave. Seriously, this is so not fair. It's not okay.
You don't know me. Stop it. You don't know my girl. You don't know me. Why did this? Oh, really? Yeah. Just not funny, man. Come on. You're not right. I know I'm not fucking funny. Bro, please. Like, you're embarrassing yourself. Seriously.
Never mind. I understand why she reacted that way because what the fuck was that?
He wants me to go home. That's so fucking unfair.
Trying to.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, shame on Kinetic Content for not having anybody step in and say, hi, what the fuck is going on? But also, this is starting to reek of partners who threaten to harm themselves or do this sort of woe is me, you're hurting me by setting boundaries thing in an attempt to manipulate you into abandoning yourself, which is not cool. Ooh. Yeah, where is security? Where is anybody? I just... Yeah, this is the paint man. Yeah, Hattie, it is kind of that vibe. The other thing about this that's interesting to me is that he is the one who insisted about coming on the show, right? He gave her the ultimatum, right? I've been wrong about that in the past. Is he the one who gave her the ultimatum? Does anybody remember? Yes, man, needs some distress tolerance skills ASAP. I think so too. Excuse. So sorry. Yeah, so the fact that he gave her the ultimatum and is now upset about the fact that he doesn't get to pressure her tells us everything that we need to know, right? The way that he said JR is the only threat to me and there's no threat to her here is very illuminating, I think, to the purpose that he brought her here with, right? It seems very intentional that he brought her here, I'm assuming under the guise of, well, you'll see because I'm going to be with someone else and then, you know, I'll be able to essentially like back you into a corner and force you to do the thing that I want. But now that it didn't work out the way that he was hoping, he's freaking out, which, again, I think is just very illuminating about his behavior. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had done this in their past relationship, right? These very emotional and explosive and overwhelming outbursts that probably either intentionally or unintentionally serve the purpose of manipulating or coercing her into doing what he wanted. He gave an ultimatum to try to strong arm her into marrying him, and I don't think he thought that she'd go, okay, bet. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening. Okay, 20 minutes and 28 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Embrace this experience with Sandy. I'm not going to let her ex come in and demand to talk to my wife.
Okay, she's not
so
your
I
wife.
take that seriously, and it's very disrespectful to what we have built so far.
You want to block him?
Understood.
Yeah, we should have done that a while ago. This man needs therapy so bad. And also to get off the show.
Oh my god, oh my fucking god.
I think he does know he's on camera. I think he's very aware that he's on camera. And I think his behavior is probably intentionally explosive with the purpose of being viewed. Yeah. I think there is a very loud, literally, ulterior motive happening here. Okay, I started a new treatment for day and I'm crashing so hard so I don't have the energy to stick around, it seems. Enjoy the stream. Oh, Marzana, big love to you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you whenever you feel up to it. Yeah, it feels very performative. It does. Okay. 21 minutes and 31 seconds. Actually, first, before we do that, for what it's worth, if there is somebody in your life, not even necessarily in a romantic context, although this applies there also, obviously, who does this, right? They're screaming and wailing and moaning and door slamming and I'm gonna die, right? Like I'm going to harm myself or I simply cannot cope if you don't X, Y, or Z. That's abusive and manipulative behavior. There is no world where it's okay for someone to weaponize their emotions to force you into submission. It's one thing for somebody to just have an explosive emotional, I don't know, experience, right? If they're having that with healthy boundaries, if they're able to self-regulate, to self-soothe, and then express to you calmly and safely, why they felt that way, what's going on with them, what they need, if their emotions were, a product of a disagreement that you had, or I don't know, a betrayal or whatever, right? That's one thing. But this seems very intentionally crafted to get a response out of her. And in these situations, usually a hallmark of that sort of manipulative or abusive tendency is the sort of like, there's nothing that you can do to fix it except for this one very specific thing that benefits me specifically. I want one solution to this thing, and it's usually for you to abandon yourself and to have no boundaries, right? People who are just genuinely struggling to regulate their emotions are often going to be amenable, especially after they've had the opportunity to regulate, to exploring a couple of different solutions that make everybody involved feel safe and okay, while still allowing that person to feel seen or to feel comforted, right? But this is very much like, we're leaving together or I'm going to continue to do this. That's why this is abusive. He's absolutely doing this to manipulate her. I've dated someone like this man before. Oh, God. Yeah, this is awful, Rachel. I'm so sorry that you had to experience that. Okay. 2129, pressing play in 3, 2, 1. No music, thank you. Okay, trial marriages, week 3. How much worse could it get? Aria and Caleb.
I literally like lay in bed being like, God, please let Scotty act like Caleb. Please. Please.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
You're wild for that. You're wild. I am very, very curious. Like, very, very curious. If anyone else is experiencing this.
What do you mean?
I didn't anticipate finding someone that I'd be so connected with and that I'd feel so comfortable around.
Their relationship seems the least tumultuous.
This time won't be forgotten.
So I feel like us like holding hands, it just feels like way more intimate.
I don't need the music though.
The way that you rub my hand, it calms me down.
It also kind of soothes me to like do that. It was like I was actually getting to see the real you. And I think it's beautiful. I just want to make sure that you and Mariah feel respected. That's like at the forefront of this.
Okay, but that...
And my loyalty is to Mariah, but I feel confused because I didn't anticipate having I would say like an emotional connection with Aria.
We're lucky.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Him saying that like I see the real you when I'm holding your hand is a wild thing to say. I'm so sorry. I don't buy that whatsoever. That's very much honeymoon phase, NRE kind of stuff. Okay, this is Zaina and Scotty.
Busy day?
Yeah. It's like I got a lot of work done, but I'm still stressed.
Same. I'm like trying to catch up. And I really want to like organize the closet today. No ifs, ands, buts. We can make it a group activity.
You know what? We should do something out of the house. Like a hot air balloon trip together.
Not hot air balloon.
Okay.
Like I would probably have major anxiety in a hot air balloon and it won't be enjoyable. Like I would probably be freaked out.
What about cryotherapy? Have you done cryotherapy before?
What I know about me is that I don't like being cold. So that's something I don't enjoy fundamentally. I mean, I could research cryotherapy. I'm sure there's a ton of benefits. It's just not something I'm like, oh my God, that's something relaxing that I want to do.
No more cryotherapy talk. Like I'm over it. You feel me?
What are you talking about?
Like I'm over that shit. If you don't want to get taken out, just say that. It's all good. Do you feel like you're...
Okay. Here we go. This is the... This is... Hold on. Let's watch the rest of this first before we talk about it. 24 minutes and 42 seconds. Pressing play. In 3, 2, 1.
Your ideal date is going out to like dinner and shit?
No, I'm down to do fun stuff. However...
Well, I'm feeling like we might have slightly different definitions of fun.
Okay.
What does 32-year-old fun look like?
Okay, let's not put an age with fun. Chirotherapy to me is not fun.
You shut down a lot of date ideas.
One that involved extreme cold and another in an air.
You sounded like kind of disgusted by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with like you. That was just like my raw reaction to the idea of being in a hot air balloon. But everything else, like the thought behind it, like I appreciate that. And I don't want to dismiss the thought and the effort of trying to like do something new and exciting.
I have a problem with rejection.
Clearly.
I think in part is because I got so much like validation as a kid.
You felt like that was a form of rejection because of something on your list that I didn't want to do?
Definitely.
That was not something that I ever want you to feel. This side of Scotty I've never seen before in our trial marriage. We're still learning each other, so just because...
What a surprise. Okay, so fair enough. It's positive that he owned that he has a problem with rejection, and that, you know, you saying that you don't want to do that is a form of rejection to me. And this is a great moment for us to really drive home the point that we're not responsible for being like an emotional support person for another adult human being, right? Being amenable, being available, being, I don't know, interested in providing somebody with support and validation and help. Especially for things, right? Like rejection sensitivity dysphoria is a big problem for neurodivergent folks, right? So having an open dialogue about like, right, I just suggested 2 things and you said no to them in a way that just felt like a rejection, like that one really stung for me, is one thing. And to have a partner be like, ooh, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. It's just that I don't like heights and cryotherapy sounds like my personal version of hell. So I don't want to do those things, right? But let's do something else. But the way that he immediately moved to devalue her perspective and to mock her and be derisive towards her interests, her thoughts, is the problem here, right? Because owning that I have a problem with rejection and that hurt my feelings is one thing, but to say, I think that, you know, oh, so what, you only want to go out to dinner, or, you know, what's 32-year-old fun, right? Essentially to say, like, I think that your idea of fun is stupid is problematic. This is a very hurtful thing. Yeah, not only just like negging her for the things that she likes, but also having zero interest in what her actual likes are is a problem. Rejection sensitivity is very real for people with ADHD, though, yes, very much. Assuming they don't mean to be manipulative can too often lead to feeling sorry for them. It can be genuine. Hold on, I think I missed a chapter. Okay, hold on. We're scrolling up because I missed something. Oh, okay. Is this about Nick? Is this about Paint Man? Let me be clear. Is he safe to be in a relationship with? Obviously not, but I feel like it's weird to assume intent. Yeah, that's valid. I mean, for what it's worth, that's why we said it seems like. But I also want to caution people against doing the thing where we contort ourselves into these little pretzels to give everybody an equal benefit of the doubt all the time, because people who have a history of bad faith behavior they're not entitled to continual and never ending, you know, benefit of the doubt, because that can put people in really dangerous situations. They sound so surreal to me, since food is one of the things that I usually bond with people over. Also, yeah, let's be very clear about that. If somebody's idea of fun or quality time is to go on a date or to just sit and have dinner, that's perfectly valid. If somebody's idea of a fun date is, oh, hi, Travis, is hot air balloons, and the other person's idea of a fun date is dinner, right? And those 2 things don't have any overlap, then maybe we have a problem as far as compatibility is concerned. But it's not okay to tell your partner, you're no fun, you suck, blah, 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 because you can't own that you have a problem with rejection and that made you feel sad. Oh, the hot air balloon. I was like, what are you talking about, Christine? Actually, yes, that's a good point, because hot air balloon rides are expensive, aren't they? Because I'm in recovery from giving people the benefit of the doubt to my severe detriment. Yeah, it's also a thing that happens a lot for folks that have been subject to misogyny, right? There is this expectation that, like, well, because you're the emotional one, because you're the caregiver, you should be endlessly understanding of other people, which can put people in dangerous situations. Our duty on earth is not to kitten glove every human being that we come into contact with. That's not fair. It requires you to abandon yourself and your boundaries and your safety a lot of the time. Maybe not a lot of the time. A fair amount of the time, which is not cool. It is literally dangerous. Okay, let's keep going. 25:55, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Because
I feel so bad for this
turned
one.
down 2 ideas doesn't mean that it was some sort of rejection.
Did you eat without me?
Yeah. I figured you ate without me.
You figured wrong.
It changed the tone of the whole conversation. I'm just really confused by this last conversation.
This is just not what I was looking for in a
I
trial
left
wife.
you this morning.
There it
Someone that
is.
just eats without me.
He felt threatened or embarrassed, and so therefore he became very aggressive in tone, right? There was also a thinly veiled threat there. This is not what I looked for in a trial wife, i.e., I'm going to break up with you unless you start to do the things that I expect you to do, which is a hallmark of somebody who is attempting to manipulate you because you can't, or because they can't manage their own emotions, right? This essentially, having his date ideas shot down caused him to feel embarrassed and emasculated and, you know, a sense of inefficacy, a loss of control probably, and a feeling of judgment, which he, instead of communicating and owning, I'm feeling very vulnerable, I'm feeling very embarrassed, I know that I have a problem with rejection, so that hurt my feelings. Instead of doing that, he used that and in turn weaponized it to say, because you made me feel small, I'm going to punish you by trying to make you feel small, by threatening you to end the relationship, and by trying to use this scary tone to push you to do the things that I want, right? Maybe, to be fair. It's a very common response for folks that are manipulative or abusive, this sort of tit for tat thing. Hi, Pizza Eggy. Happy Friday. I was like, what is that in the chat? It took my brain a minute to compute the word Friday. I specifically took time to make sure that my partner felt comfortable being herself around me. What on earth is this guy doing? Truly, I don't know. I mean, I do, but it's problematic is what he's doing. Okay, so I think this is Paint Man. Nope, this is Mariah, I think. Doing some boxing stuff. So 26:39, pressing play in 3, 2, 1. It's muted, to be clear. Okay, there's just music.
Marriage, so I keep telling myself 7 more days, 6 more days until I reunite with Caleb. I would say I'm ready.
Okay, we're just boxing, doing a nice workout. Good for her.
Men or women, I'm in a tailspin of emotional chaos, and at this point, I'm just taking whatever steps necessary to heal.
So it's like both of them that are boxing right now.
I feel like I'm finally catching my breath.
Oh my gosh. Definitely feel better now. I put JR's face right there, and I was like, boom, like, all right.
I very much like boxing for that reason. Like, I feel like I envision my anger, the person, whatever it is, into the bag, and it feels good.
You know, the other night, I went into like a full-blown tailspin, and I fucking freaked out. And like, I went to their door, and like, yeah, JR's like standing in front of her and like talking shit to me as if it's like his chick. I'm like, like,
I can only imagine.
Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. Like the boys' night out. It's like, I'm like, oh my God.
I completely forgot about that.
Oh my God. It's gonna be a little awkward.
You think?
I have some issues with him, big time.
Yeah.
You
But more than
don't,
anything,
though.
we're adults now, and hopefully we're not justifying these lash outs. Like,
You're right. Like you gotta just learn and grow from it.
Yeah.
I think Mariah is trying to gently be like, that was
We're staying
weird.
positive. But then there were definitely situations where I would see Caleb and Aria on dates and kind of like in my line of view, and
that's hard.
my body was feeling anxious. In going into this experience, I felt pretty confident and secure and like, oh, I got that. I mean, everybody almost low-key, it seems like that was the mentality going into it. And then we get here and everything's so real.
Yeah.
And it's not fun anymore. The more I try to think about where Caleb's at, I think the more nervous I get. There are definitely times where I feel like I'm hard to love, or I'm too much, because I want a deep connection with someone so incredibly bad. That is gonna be my ride or die person. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them, so why not understand their vulnerabilities, their insecurities? How can I support? How can they support me? And like, it's like an egg or something, like something fragile, and you just want them to take care of you, and you take care of them.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
It's hard. It's definitely.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we just want to be, one, understood and loved.
And also loved in the really difficult moments. Like, you just want somebody that's got your back through that, and like know that the next day is gonna come, and like they've got you.
No. Because his difficult moments are violating people's boundaries repeatedly and refusing to self-regulate his emotions. That's not, okay, again, this is the thing, right? There is a lot of nuance in regard to the concept of unconditional love, right? Because again, we shouldn't be treating people like a piggy bank or a vending machine, because we should be offering up our love and affection and safety and security and all of those things freely, right? And we should not be creating a norm in a relationship where one person is having to offer up availability and love and affection and understanding and benefit of the doubt to the other partner, but the other partner never does that. That's not safe. Plain and simple, that's just not a safe relationship dynamic. And his assumption, his understanding that, well, I just want to be loved in my tough moments, meaning you just want somebody to continue to sort of green light any and all of your problematic and explosive behaviors because you're experiencing emotions. That's not okay. Oh, I think he's incredibly threatened by the fact that she's dating a handsome black man. I think there's some subtle racism happening as well. I would not be surprised by that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's sort of hard to quantify because we've seen very little of their interactions, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Okay, let's keep going. 29 minutes and 45 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1. April 25th. That's really funny. Forgot about that. Is that Miss Congeniality, that quote?
Is there anything specific?
No.
She said, how do you want me to approach girls' night?
Alright, so this is what I'm thinking about saying, but I don't know if like you're. I just don't want to.
It's a little too premeditated.
Well, it's just because I've been thinking about it, and I feel like it's because at the same time too, I don't want her to worry more, but at the same time, I don't want her to like run it back and then be like, you guys said it was like solely a friendship. But I feel like the dynamic, somebody can see that like there's like that chemistry, you know? Because it's like she's not going to see that chemistry until after the fact. So I feel like for me, I don't want to come off as a liar. But I just feel like, what is it? Like the friendship, but in a sense too, is like, I feel like emotionally developed a connection. And that's not a lie.
I probably wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't go with that. Emotional connection thing.
You wouldn't.
But
I want to tell Mariah, I think that there's an emotional connection developing, and that's something that I can own up to and be truthful about. But I think with Caleb, he just keeps on using friendship and not being honest about it.
I think Ario's probably the one.
Can we just also talk about how weird this camera angle is? Why are they doing this to these people? Why did we shoot these interviews from crotch height? No one looks good at this angle, and I feel like that's the thing, like that's how you know that this camera angle is doing everyone dirty, because all of the people on this show are beautiful. So what is this angle? I'm so sorry. Anyways, hi Puckleberry, you got gifted a membership earlier. Anyways, I appreciate Aria's intent here and wanting to be honest, but also not wanting to necessarily push Mariah's buttons too much. I think that's totally fair. And Caleb's sort of, you know, I don't want Mariah to know about it thing is a little odd to me. No overlay needed. Honestly, I'm sorry that you guys have to watch this without an overlay. 31:21, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
The last people Mariah would want to hear from, like, let me just talk to Mariah. She's navigating this experience alone.
I don't know if he feels guilt or I don't know what he's going through, but I just don't think he's being honest with himself or Mariah.
Which is unfair.
Not gonna be a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a kind thing. Keeping things from people simply to spare their feelings is actually not very kind.
There's been a lot of emotions cooking up over the last couple weeks, and I feel like JR and I have connected on such a deep level.
It ain't burning out like me. It's too damn sexy.
I think there's definitely some conversations
like when
that need to
people say
be
things like
had,
that.
particularly between me and Zaina. I'm a little nervous. I just don't really know what to tell her. So not looking forward to
partner
that,
should not
but
police your
it'll be
wardrobe.
fine. I'll get through it.
And
Okay, with the music. It's odd because everyone will see the show. Yes, exactly, Fabian. We talk about this all the time. Are they not aware that they're being filmed? I guess actually they might not have been because that is an apartment camera.
Good.
Mm.
I was surprised
I feel
on
like
how
they would have to
easygoing this
tell
whole
them about
process has
that.
been.
Yeah.
How has it been for you?
It's like what we're doing is so hard, and your exes can really get in the way of your experience. Like Nick is alone and hasn't respected what we both knowingly came into.
Right.
You're the one that brought me here wanting to do this. I feel like the handcuffs got so tight the second we got here. I'm like, I'm really frustrated right now.
That sucks. I'm sorry that you feel like your experience is getting shortened.
It's brought out really, really dark emotions, and like it really hurts me. It makes me, it's like I feel guilty, I'm confused, I'm scared, I'm sad, I don't know what to do, you know?
So we've been on a few kind of activities, and I definitely feel like he's very in his head. Like he's felt triggered, he's felt just probably not good enough. He feels like just a lot of weight and heaviness and I guess like overall insecurity of the relationship, which is understandable.
But that's a him
I really
thing,
truly
though.
wanted to help him, and he's poured himself into art, which I've seen, but it's almost still escapism or just a means to distract himself. So
What a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but what? He's just escaping through art? You're not dealing with it. If he can't show up for himself, how could he show up for me?
now that I've gotten to know him, do I think that he would make for a good husband? I don't think so. I'm so sorry to say that if that offends you, but I don't.
Hell yeah.
So wild to me.
I mean, honestly, good for Mariah for being honest, because it doesn't benefit anybody to lie. Also, what are these fuck-ass B-roll shots? Okay. Caleb and JR. Oh, okay. They said, we are playing music for the whole time.
Very sorry.
Huh?
I'm very sorry.
Okay. We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
Okay, I really am. And man, I made a big mistake. I know it's not clear, but I'm not here to make enemies or fight, and to be going through this alone is so fucking hard. Like, this is probably one of the biggest tests of my life emotionally.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I've never cried this much in my entire life. I've never been this spun out. I've never seen this version of myself.
Yeah. I want to ask you why. Is it because she chose me?
No. No.
Maybe I'm seeing things one-sided. I haven't talked to you. Only time I talked to you was when you came up to the apartment.
Yeah, that was
banging on the door, asking to talk to Sandy. I'm like, what the fuck? I lost all respect for you after that.
You realize that I'm not the only guilty party?
Well, tell me about it, because I don't know.
There's been a handful of I miss yous and a handful of, so it's not one-sided. I'm owning that it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I'm just giving
and
you
you
my
saying you
side.
lost all your respect for me.
At that point, I did.
Right, I get that.
Because it was disrespectful.
It was disrespectful.
You came into our space, disrupted what we had going on, to pull her out and talk to her about God knows what. I didn't even know you knew where we lived.
Yeah.
So this is disrespectful.
Trust me, I wish I didn't. There's a lot of me that wishes I never signed up for this because I didn't need this. I was like very hopeful that this was gonna be an opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship.
I don't think that's true.
You really have to understand that this is the person that I thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with. And she looked at you in a way that she used to look at me. And I don't know how that's not heartbreaking.
I feel like we're sort of losing the plot here because no one is telling him that he's not allowed to be heartbroken or that he's not allowed to have a really hard time. Nobody is saying that he's not allowed to have big emotions about it. Yeah, this is Paint Man. Nick is Paint Man. But the thing is that our emotions and our heartbreak and our experiences don't excuse behavior, right? We've talked about this ad nauseum on the channel. I think this is like one of the first things that we started talking about on the channel, which is that you are always allowed to feel however it is that you feel, but you are not allowed to simply behave in whatever way that you want to behave as a result of those emotions. You don't get carte blanche to do that because people have to be responsible for the consequences of our actions, right? Feeling is one thing, but behaving is different. And it seems like this apology was offered in a transactional way, as if to say, so sorry, I made a mistake, right? Blah, blah, blah. And so now that I've said that, it's been wiped clean, right? The slate has been reset That's not how that works, though. This is very much a transactional apology and like an apology for me and not for you or for the hurt that I've caused. I think it's also very rich that we're having this mea culpa now with another man, but seemingly not with Sandy. Granted, she blocked him, so fair enough, but I don't know. That is off-putting to me. Mariah isn't partnered with Nick, but both their partners left in episode 4. Yeah, so Mariah and Nick are both single, but sort of being like, you know, put together as like the two singles in the show to do these things like the boxing activity and whatever, simply to get footage of them, probably. Yeah, Kiara, it is, I apologize, blah, blah. Hold on. Apologize to men, women don't count. It's probably not that off base. Okay. Oh, the other thing. I am very curious. Hi, Patchouli. I am very curious about the contract situation here and what they're allowed to do or not do. I would be very curious if he is being provided with enough privacy to see a therapist. Like, is that something that he has access to? I don't know that he has one or wants one or that he's even interested in that, but I do wonder if that is something that is available to him. Because if not, like, fuck kinetic content about that for sure, because he should be granted enough privacy just generally, but also to speak with a therapist in the hopes of helping him regulate. But besides that, it seems like they have access to their phones for sure. So I don't know why this man is not reaching out to any other earthly person for help with regulating besides his ex, because that's not appropriate. Okay, let's just keep going. 3701, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
We were both issued ultimatums. We both came in here ready to really embrace the experience. That's one of the top reasons why I chose her. And the way you're reacting, I'm like, man, he's making this easy for you to make a decision on whether or not you want to get married to him or not, you know?
I know, and I have to live with that. You know, I do know you guys have a connection. It does scare me, obviously. Like, I don't know where your head's at with your ex, but I hope that you're getting out of it the answers that you need too. Like,
I am. I've done a lot of soul searching. I'm learning a lot about myself through this process just by being with her. She actually challenges me in different ways that I had not been challenged before. She has a huge heart and she really cares about me. And her showing me that care, it's like, man, like, there's actually good people out in this world. Like, she showed me so much about myself. I'm learning from her every day. Her spirit, her soul, her confidence, the way she cares, the way she listens, a lot of things that I was like, damn.
Douse the flames. Good one, JR.
I see why you want to marry her.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at. I got 3 weeks with Zaina to figure things out with her. What up, Scotty?
Also, yeah, poor Caleb. Just
I'm conflicted, dude.
Yeah. You really have no clue what's going on the other side of the walls.
I don't know. Seems like Nick does.
I've been excited to like talk to you and connect, and it's been, I don't know. It's been a lot.
I know.
It's a process.
I feel like it's just obviously like a weird situation, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm supposed to be going through this with JR, and I'm sure you are with Scotty too.
It was like meant to be, and I'm glad that y'all chose each other. The fact that we both came in here knowing what we signed up for, I'm like, Sandy's cool. Like, if I was a lesbian, I would probably choose Sandy too. Like,
wives, sister wives.
But my main priority was for JR to connect with someone that could really help him through the process.
Yeah. Obviously, JR and I have like connected, but at the end of the day, like, there's nothing between us other than we are trying to get the most out of this experience for one another, genuinely. We're not like hooking up.
What are these camera angles?
Him and I are not dating for real. Trust me. I'm trying to like train him on things so that he could show up better for you. Cause I'm like, you deserve to have someone that like isn't holding on to shit from past relationships or past marriages that's not fair to you.
I'm battling his perception of
His
like
perception.
his past.
That's also a manipulative and shitty thing to say. Right? We're not actually dating. I'm trying to train him. Yeah, like he's a dog. Ew. Besides the fact that that's a really weird take in this whole situation, it also is super phony and hurtful. Again, are we not aware that we're being filmed? That JR is eventually going to see this? Train him on things. Why does each gender refuse to see the other as real people? It's a byproduct of the misogynistic and patriarchal values that are very prominent in heterosexual, I don't know, in heteronormative relationships, rather. Okay. That's a fucked up thing to say. I'm so sorry. 40 minutes and 2 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Relationship, like even when it comes down to marriage, he made a comment before, like as soon as a woman gets a ring, they change up. And I'm like, is that consistent with my character?
But like, that's because he had one experience with that, and he will hold it with him till the day he dies. Like,
And
that's
his
his
problem.
It is a problem.
Yes.
With all the things that I've been
you should go to
experiencing
therapy
with
for
Scotty,
it.
just like the validation and reassurance I get, like, hey, you will actually be an amazing wife and amazing mother. I don't hear that from JR. I know he loves me and I know he recognizes those qualities, but it's not vocalized in our relationship. And I realize that that's something I do need. And I need actions to back it up too.
If
Hell
you
yeah.
really,
So
really
don't be in a
are like,
relationship with
it is
him.
marriage or we break up, then stick to that. You know, you choose you.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
I feel like everyone's wondering, like, how is Caleb and Arya doing? So we see you outside walking around together.
We're chilling. Like, I lucked out on that. You gotta go, man.
Not catching no feelings for her.
It's just a friendship.
I thought I would walk into this experience and someone would for sure develop feelings. And so like when you said we built a friendship, I was like, for real? Like I definitely was not expecting that one.
I feel like he's almost more offended by that somehow.
Sense. It's just I don't have that approach with her.
Interesting. I came here to find out whether Arya and I are gonna get married. In the event that she had a connection that surpassed the connection we built over the past 3 years, it is what it is because I know what I bring to the table and I know that somebody will see that.
If you already have that mindset, there's really not much for me to say. That's not a conversation for me, you know what I mean? Like that's a conversation for you to address on your own time.
If I'm being real, like I do not feel like there's been any heterosexual male that has met Arya and only wants to be Arya's friend. And I need that to be explicitly clear. We're not here to make friends. It just seemed very contrived.
I truly can appreciate Caleb, honestly.
I'm so sorry. Why is he more offended by Caleb saying that, which I don't think that that's true. It does seem like they have some level of emotional connection, like Arya was saying, but yeah, Scotty talks as if Arya doesn't also have a choice in getting married. I don't understand this perspective. I really don't. I understand to some degree of frustration about feeling as though you're being lied to, but it seems like he's almost more offended by the idea that somebody doesn't want to have sex with his ex-girlfriend. Ooh, Raspberry, I think you're right. He wants the validation of other men coveting his property. Oh, yuck. Ooh, it's such a disgusting attitude. How dare you like her as a person and not as a sex object? Oh, he's the worst. Oh, yeah. Okay. 42 minutes and 43 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Like for the person he is, like he's so calm, he's so respectful, he's so in tune with other people's emotions. This man is goofy. Like he is a goofy dude. I love that he's okay with me telling him he's goofy. Like I feel like that was something that was not liked by my partner, Scotty. I don't know if maybe he's that whole perception thing, but he doesn't like that I call him goofy. But I was like, I enjoy that in men because I feel like we have that type of back and forth banter. We talked about deep stuff. I've told him literally so many things. I would say this is probably the most vulnerable I've ever been.
Mariah is so overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think it's because we really started with a foundation of friendship. It's like no judgment.
Well, that makes me happy.
He's told me about your guys' fights. I'm not someone that needs like over communication. I don't need someone like telling me exactly what they're doing when they're on a trip. He says that's something that he's
Mariah is ready to cut and run. This poor woman. Oh, I can't tell if this has been cut together in such a way to make it seem like Mariah is being dumped all over, or if that's really how it happened. But if this is how it happened, I feel like Arya is just, just like speed running this conversation. If I remember correctly, Mariah is also the youngest person there. I don't remember any of their ages. Keeping the name straight is an Olympic sport, 100%. Honestly, good for me for remembering. Okay, 43 minutes and 35 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
He's gotten with you on multiple things that he's done by himself. And so he says he fears that that's going to be his reality.
I seemingly thought it was healthy to be overly communicative. And I think he was always thinking that I just wanted to control, and it's not that, but it was just my mindset. I was like, I think it's healthy to do that.
He doesn't feel trusted based on the communication that you do need.
But I do trust him. Like, I genuinely, he's never done anything to make me feel any type of way. It's just always been me. What I was beginning to feel insecure about was like an emotional insecurity of just maybe I wasn't giving the connection that he was looking for. Self-sabotaging habits came through so hard because of all the trauma that I've also been in.
Well, if something to notice too is like when you're in toxic relationships or used to that, when you're in your first healthy one, sometimes you become the toxic one.
I don't see myself that way because I've only shown up authentically as me this entire time. And if
Okay. Here's the thing. The spirit of that is not necessarily wrong, but the execution of that is a little it's not the best. So when we are used to relationships that are toxic or chaotic, especially those of us that have grown up in environments that were really chaotic or emotionally explosive, finding a relationship with safety and security and, calmness can cause us to feel out of sorts, and it can create a discomfort so much so sometimes that we do want to become chaotic, right? Or to sort of like create an environment that feels more like what we're used to. That doesn't mean you're the toxic one though. That is often just an embodiment of our difficulty with, processing our trauma. I think phrasing it this way was almost like an accusation at Mariah, as if to say like, well, Caleb's good, but you're the toxic one. Which is not great. Yay. That doesn't necessarily mean Mariah is toxic. She might be also just grappling with over-explaining herself or needing a higher level of validation than other people might be used to because she's anticipating being judged, being condemned, right? Especially for those of us, if we grew up in environments or if we've experienced past relationships where it seems like it doesn't really matter what you do, that you're always wrong, we can become these people who over-explain. And so we need a high level of communication or validation or reassurance. That doesn't make you toxic, though. Ideally, we just want to be able to vocalize that, right? Make that out loud. So that we can have an open dialogue with our partner that, like, I don't know, for example, if they come home from work and they've had a bad day, so they're in a bad mood, we might feel like, oh no, they're mad at me, right? It's because I didn't clean the house enough while they were gone, or because I didn't, go out of my way to X, Y, or Z. Just vocalizing that to say, hey, I'm telling myself this story about like you being upset at me because you had a bad day at work. And like, the thing that's happening for me internally is this feeling of like, oh, he's definitely mad at me, right? Is that true? Like, is that what's happening? Or am I doing the thing? Simply have a conversation about it. Generally speaking, ideally, we want a partner who's going to be available for that, right? But again, that doesn't make you toxic. Having to communicate to things to a higher degree in order to work through becoming comfortable in a safe and secure relationship doesn't mean that you're bad. It just might be something that we need to explain so that instead of saying, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? I know that you're upset at me. I'm so sorry. Are you upset at me? We're able to just say, hey, this is what's happening for me. And so I'm feeling like I need extra reassurance. Is that okay? It sort of shortens the, you know what I'm saying? I know, I'm sorry. I don't mean to call all of you out. It's a very common thing, clearly. Look at all the people in the comments who also experience this. You guys are not alone. Yes, communication is the problem so often. And if we develop the skills to say those things out loud in a non-confrontational or non-explosive way, often we can much more easily work through whatever difficulties we're having. Okay. 44 minutes and 28 seconds. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
That isn't what he's looking for, then that's not what he's looking for. Do you feel like you've gotten the most out of this experience personally with him, or do you feel like you have all the answers basically that you need?
Honestly, I think that Caleb has added some confusion to my situation with Scotty.
Yes, Aria.
And the reason why I would say is because I just do not fall super hard for people easily. I think he's funny. He thinks I'm funny. We're just going back and forth. I feel like I have not laughed as much as I've laughed in my life.
When I came here with Caleb, I knew something wasn't quite working on an emotional level in a way with our relationship. So it's nerve-wracking to think of an emotional connection that's greater than what Caleb and I have.
I feel like I had to address it, and I'm not someone who like bites my tongue. When she goes back, I think she'll see that there is some type of connection, and I think him not being honest to her now will hurt his relationship.
Which is true.
For me, I just want to truly feel heard, and I think in the process with Caleb, I have felt that. I feel like he's kind of showing me things that I'm like, maybe I didn't realize, maybe I need this, you know? And I feel like I just wasn't prepared for that, honestly.
No. There's like lint in between the 2 layers of my shirt.
A lot. I'm not gonna cap.
Really bothering
I'm one of 2 men that issued the ultimatum. I want Aria to be honest with me about where she's at. I do know, like, sometimes when we get in disagreements or arguments, like, they're visceral. And I think that's one difference I noticed about with Zaina is, like, she's just so calm and she's become more emotionally vulnerable. What Zaina really needs in a man that she's gonna marry is emotional vulnerability. What we've created in the context of what we're doing has nothing to do with my feelings or perception about you.
Sure?
What?
So you sure?
Yeah, I am sure.
Oh,
Why, what you mean?
boy.
I just heard some shit.
What did you hear? Let's get into it.
There's rumors going around saying that I was only here for a hall pass.
Why do you think those rumors came from me?
Because they said Scotty said that.
And are you saying you heard that from Sandy?
No, I didn't hear it from Sandy.
Okay.
See people in the gym, see people out and about.
What did you hear? You heard it from Zaina?
I'm not gonna tell you who told me, but we be out and about. People are like, oh, Scotty said you're here for a hall pass. I'm like, what the fuck?
Look, bro, what could possess me to be like, JR's here for a hall pass?
You tell me. You're saying that's not true?
It's absolutely not true. What does that do for me? You feel me? Like, there's no reason for me to say that about you.
You could be building a connection with Zaina and be like, oh, JR's doing this or that, trying to fill shit in her head so that she opens up more to you, you know what I'm saying?
You really think that
it's very manipulative. And
I think whoever's telling you is actually the one who's manipulative.
Yeah, this sounds like...
Well, it could be. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I have no ulterior motives. And I get, based on the escalation of how this conversation has gone, you might not believe me. There's nothing about Zaina where I'm like, okay, if I just cast doubt on her relationship, maybe I could slide in there. That's not who the fuck I am. Like, I'm sure all of the assumptions are adding up. Like, you see me and Zaina together, you see us picking up packages, this, that, the third.
I don't see y'all doing nothing. I seen y'all once or twice.
Why are you mad, bro?
I'm not mad. I'm saying, why are you calling me mad? Why? Just ask me a question.
I mean, you're clearly upset, but it's
I'm annoyed. Like, why is my name in somebody else's mouth? Say I'm here for a hall pass for what?
I'm trying to tell you.
You don't even know what's going on between me and say that we have a real connection.
Does that mean you're sleeping together?
This is why the patriarchy and misogyny harms everybody. There's so many things about this conversation that are absolutely ridiculous. The first of which being, well, I'm going to ask this question. This person said, no, that's not happening. Okay. This man is either... Okay, so JR asks Scotty, did you say that I'm only here for a hall pass? Scotty says no. There's nothing else to be done then. Scotty is either lying or really didn't. And so trying to browbeat somebody into either admitting to something that they're clearly lying about or just bonking everyone over the head with this needless conversation serves no purpose. Serves no purpose, right? We're doing this thing where we're continually like upping the ante of subtle aggression towards each other instead of just communicating effectively, right? Ultimately, their conversation's not going to go anywhere, right? And then JR says, Sandy and I have built a real connection. And of course, Paint Man has to say, so does that mean that you're having sex? What does that have to do with anything? What on Snod's green earth does that have to do with anything that we're talking about? Not just because it's completely unrelated to the matter at hand, but also because it absolutely serves no purpose, right? Asking this question, it's not going to lead anywhere good, because either the answer is yes, which is going to hurt his feelings, or no, which he's not going to believe. So why are we asking that? Why are we asking that? Besides the fact, again, that it serves no purpose, it also is such an obvious, are you tainting my property sort of attitude. Why are so many of these men treating women like objects? I mean, I know why, right? But again, I want to bring us all back to the beginning here, which is that this is why the patriarchy and misogyny harms everybody, because instead of being able to develop an emotional maturity and an emotional intelligence that allows us to communicate effectively, we simply resort to aggression and peacocking around like these like animals. Honestly, it's a very just. Somebody said like dogs in the dog park. Oh, yeah. Like Nick just wants to pee all over everything. It's just exhausting. For what it's worth, if you have any men in your life and they lack the ability to communicate with you effectively, or they lack an emotional intelligence or maturity to, I don't know, healthfully relate to you, it's not your job to, baby them through that. But you are allowed to say, that's not cool. I don't want to talk with you until you've developed enough, maturity or, emotional intelligence to communicate with me, rather than just getting aggressive or shutting down or starting to yell and throw accusations everywhere. Because this is, it's just frustrating. Stop pissing. Yeah, unless it's literally your job, but that's different. The producers literally said, do you see women as objects? Perfect. Okay, 4838, pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Look in the same bed? Yeah. I think everyone's doing that, right?
I don't think that's what he's asking.
That's not what I'm asking. And I respect you and you bringing me the truth to it, but it also feels like there's a part of you that wants us to not be together and go be with her, and that's
Jade,
coming up for you, and that's really challenging.
I don't know. I'm just telling you the truth.
I know that
what we're going through right now.
I get that, but what that does also is confirm all of my worst fears.
Which
so
is
the things that actually have been coming up and I've been screwed up about are now true. So it's validating all the fucked up shit that's going on in my head.
Why is that anybody else's fault or problem? I don't understand why he's mad at someone else for that.
Whether I'm proposing to Zaina, whether I'm leaving with Sandy, or leaving by myself, taking it day by day.
I do think there's a part of JR that does enjoy torturing Nick, which is not helpful.
I'm so in love with you.
Ultimatum is about to come to term. You don't want to hurt the person you love, and you also want to make sure you're making the right decision.
I just found out you kissed another woman.
We kissed twice.
After filming.
After we got engaged?
I don't understand the...
Because on Arya's intentions towards me.
Yeah, it makes me so uncomfortable.
I'm not gonna play this game.
With the music. Okay, it's fine. You get it. Okay. I don't understand what's going on here. The way that people explode at each other for kissing or having sex or sleeping in the same bed or whatever is really odd to me, because I don't understand why you would sign up for a show that uses terms like trial wife and trial husband and then be shocked and horrified when that person had like a relationship with them. I understand what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The show is absolutely rancid. What time is it? It is 12:08. I think we're going to call it there for today. The show is just rancid. We probably are not going to finish this before we start The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But that's fine. We can just come back to it later. What does the other want? What does he want the other guy to do? You told me the truth about what I asked you. How dare. Yeah, that's actually, we should address that super quick. Which is that Nick has a habit of, at least as far as we're aware on this show, pointing the finger at other people and saying, you did this objective thing that caused me to experience emotions, and so therefore you are bullying me, right? You are hurting me and by existing, and so you owe me an apology for that, which is, again, further illuminating the way that this man walks through life, which is with zero accountability for his own emotions and zero skill for navigating his own emotions, which is a really dangerous combo. If you know anybody like that, please know that you are not obligated to provide them continual and never-ending benefit of the doubt, because it genuinely puts you in danger. Raspberry, yes, of course. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Next week is it next week? Let's double check. Next week, yes, next Friday, the 2nd, we are doing patron-only streams on the Discord. So if you are the Snosh Blossoms tier or higher, then we will be in the Discord server, hanging out, doing silly shit. We might have a craft stream, actually. I'll float that and see what people feel about it. But we're probably going to have some silly hangout times for the... Actually, no, I'm so sorry. It's not Snosh Blossoms. I always do this. It's Escar Gourds and Snack-o-lanterns. Escar Gourds and Snack-o-lanterns, we are having 2 separate hangouts next week. So one right after the other. We'll be hanging out in the Discord server. So join the Patreon, join the channel memberships at the $10 or above level. And come spend some time with us. If you're not a patron or a channel member of the Escar Gourds or higher, then I will see you guys the following week, which is April 9th, for another episode of this before we start The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives the following week. Okay, I love you all so very much, and I will see you guys either next week if you're in the server, or the following week for more Ultimatum. Okay, love you all. Bye.